Kindly media team present. Thank you. To one he gave 5 talents. To one he gave 5 talents. To another 2. To another 1. Each according to his own ability. Then he went on his journey. So we want to invite you to today's service yet again, and we want to do a presentation on what the AECP means. The title of our PowerPoint is A Journey of Faith, Innovation, and I'll do the presentation. My name is Paul Githenji. I'm an engineer by profession, and I've been called to God's work by my talents. So before I do the full presentation, I'd like first to introduce the office. So who is this AECP and who are within it? So we first have the chair. My name is Paul Githenji, as I told you. I'll be the chairperson for 2025. And then we have the vice chair lady, who is Cecilia Mwangi. Maybe you can stand and wave. That's our vice chair. She's an engineer by profession. She's a registered professional engineer. And by background, she has done civil engineering. Then we have our able secretary. This is Engineer Marvin Jagi. That's our very able vice sec. He's also a civil engineer by background, and he's running the secretary office. Then we have 2 apologies. So 2 of our members did not manage to come here physically. One of them is called Engineer Mambo Miano. Yeah, he's in charge on the other side of the church, on the Guelph side. And then we have a lady called Elion Washira. Yeah, she has a bereavement, so they are following up on that one. But for Mambo, he's in charge of branding and outreach. So we have even a poster that we have prepared for this service. I don't know if the media team can be able to showcase what Mambo was preparing. And then we also have Elion Nyambura. She's also an engineer. She's in charge of communication and logistics. And that's how the team is. And let me just go back now to the PowerPoint so that, because of interest of time. Yes, so what is the AECP group? So in full, the AECP group stands for architects, engineers, surveyors, consultants, and other construction professionals. So the main mandate of our group is to bring a cohesion between the professional groups, especially in the construction industry. So we try to solve problems, we try to create solutions, and we're obviously stewards of God's resources, because it's by God's grace that we are engineers or architects or construction professionals. So the overall market growth of the AECP, to the next slide. So the current size of the market of AECP is estimated to be around $1.48 trillion. This is in 2024, just last year. And the short-term growth it's projected to reach $1.54 trillion in 2025, with a compound annual growth rate of around 4%. So this statistics is just to show us that if somebody goes in the line of AECP, you actually have a bright future. This is not only just in Kenya, but actually globally. So if you have interest in maybe doing architecture work, engineering work, this can be electrical, mechanical, civil, structural, and so on and so forth. You have also a great future: construction management, project management, survey work, quantity surveying, and so on and so forth. And the long-term growth, we estimate to have a growth of around 1.8 trillion. This is by 2029, with a GR of 4.1%. This is the compound annual growth. So where do we find the AECP in the Bible? So just as I started with the leading word of, to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, each accordance to their own ability, and then he went on his journey. This can be found in the book of Matthew chapter 25, where we see the parable of the talents. So all of us have been entrusted with different unique abilities. Some of us are maybe accountants, some of us are teachers, some of us are medics, some of us are business people, and all this has been given unto us by the grace of God. For us as the AECP, these are the talents that we have, and this is the way we like to serve the Lord. So the journey and the role in engineering. Myself, personally, I became an engineer to help to solve problems that are in the world. Let's say the type of construction that is happening, the buildings, the roads that we have, the structures that we have, and also just even farming. When it comes to agriculture, we try to see how we can be able to get the most efficient process of the water, no wastage of water, no wastage of materials. This is the personal reason that I feel that the Lord called me to do it. And as a man in engineering, we need to lead by integrity, innovation, and service. Reason being, in the world that we live in, there are so many shortcuts or many corners that all of us are being told to go through. This can be corruption. Maybe somebody brings in less quantities that are required for the building, and you're told to sign the document just saying that it was as per the bill BQ. This is a bill of quantities. So all these things we also face as engineers in the world. We are also told to bring in subpar materials. This is low quality materials that leads to, let's say, the reduction of the quality of the outcome that you want. It can be the structure, it can be the car. You know, sometimes you can go to fix your car, but they put for you low quality tires, but yet again you pay for the full amount. So these are the challenges that even mechanical engineers and many other people are facing. But what do we do as we have been called by the Lord? We need to look at it from a different angle. We are Christians, and we need to show the light in the world by itself. So this is where we come directly now to the creativity side and the innovative side. We need to come up with standards that can be able to support even the Christians in the industry. We need to make sure that the quality checks, this is the QC and the QA, quality assurance, they are adhered to. We do not need to have that risk that somebody paid the full amount and yet again you're getting, let's say, half quality. We also multiply our talents. This is by increasing our knowledge. So after, let's say, the undergrad education, we usually go through trainings. Every single time you can hear there's a training, we have bodies like the IEK. This is the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, which is a learned body. We have the EBK. This is the Engineering Board of Kenya, which certifies that you have been trained and you have been taken through all the standards that are required for an engineer. So these are the things that we make sure that we check. We know we have different standards also for the other bodies, but I'll just focus maybe on the engineering side because that is where I mainly help. So this is just a sample of maybe what we do. As engineers, we also play a mandate role in the society. This is knowledge transfer, because we have been given the talents that we are trying to say, and we need to help one another to understand maybe even how that seat that you're sitting on was designed, because everything that you see more or less in the world was designed by somebody. Majority, the bigger part of the world was designed by God, and then the other things are man-made or man-created. This can be the phone, this can be the microphone, this is a design. This can be a simple thing as a spoon, as a fork. Everything has been designed. And how do we pass that knowledge? So we usually have talks like the one that you can see. We pass knowledge from the learned to the person who's interested. So for the challenges and the lessons of the parable, we can see that sometimes we face the ethical dilemmas, just as we have talked. We are approached by, let's say, shady contractors. They tell you, if you give me, or they say, for example, the road width is supposed to be 9 meters in width, yeah? This is how the vehicles can be able to navigate through the road. So they can tell you, let's reduce the width of the road, let's say, to 8.5 meters, and the stretch is, let's say, 10 kilometers. So if the engineer is a rogue engineer or a corrupt engineer, they're going to accept. And that money is going to be shared between the contractor and the engineer. So these are the dilemmas that we sometimes face in the industry. We can also face, this is just a synopsis, but we face so many others. But the main thing is to trust in the Lord. This is for every person who's seated here. Trust in the Lord. And do not rely on your own wisdom, and do not believe or trust in your heart, because from your heart flows many issues that corrupt your path of life. So our call to action, or the final slide that we have, is that we use our own God-given talents to help where we can in the society, and we use them wisely because you have been given the spirit of wisdom by the Lord, and we need to serve. The next thing, we need to innovate with a purpose and to shine in every single project. This should be seen in every single sector, where the architect is, where the engineer is, where the construction professional is. You need to make an impact that somebody will say, truly, this is not a normal person, a person who we can just give them maybe 100,000 and then they'll just say, okay, I'll just shut one eye. Because these things, trust you me, they do happen. And finally, I'll tell you this. We actually have a WhatsApp group, and if somebody is interested in joining, I'll just tell Marvin to stand up. So kindly make sure you liaise with Mawera. So Marvin Mawera is a person in charge who's going to help you join the WhatsApp group. And the main thing, or the main mandate of the group, is to put us together in one common area so that we can be able to plan for activities, so that we can be able to plan for workshops, so that even when we are sharing out questionnaires, which help us collect the data to help know what the team wants, we can be able to have exactly what we need to preach. And finally, let me just mention this. The AECP was officially started on the 15th of March this year, 2025, under the leadership of the JPRC. So we want to say special thanks to Elder Gashagwa, who's our session clerk. He really helped in steering this committee, as well as Elder Gashao. This is one of the key people who also helped us, as well as Mr. Peter. I think I've seen him in the congregation. We want just to say special thanks, and so many other people who obviously attended and also helped us to get to this journey. We humbly ask for your prayers and support in this journey, even in the line of the development committee. That is where we also sit, also in the line of other projects. If you have a project that you want to do, feel free to reach out to us. We have architects, we have engineers, we have professionals in the church, and we are here to serve and to help where we can, God giving us the ability and the wisdom. That comes to the end of the presentation. Thank you so much. Be blessed.